I'm a sneaker kind of girl. I love comfortable shoes, but I also want them to look cute. The New Balance 1080 is that versatile go-to sneaker that's ready for anything. I wear them to the gym, I wear them out on jogs, I wear them around the town to go get groceries. I do it all. You get the perfect mix of comfort and performance. So you're covered from coffee runs to race day. Runners love that cushion midsole because it's got their back, or, well, actually, their feet. But basically, it's this giant, cushiony, beautiful marshmallow shoe. Doesn't make sense until you put it on your feet, and then you're like, oh, yeah, Rach, this is just like walking in a marshmallow. Ready to upgrade your kicks? Shop the 1080 now at newbalance.com.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Stop focusing on why someone is rotten to the core. Focus on your energy. Focus on your life. Focus on your character. Focus on where you are moving forward to. Focus on building a life that moves so far forward, they're so deep in the past you can't even see them anymore. We can't change the toxic people that we are born into sometimes inside of a family. But we can change the generational cycle. And what's happening right now is your children are watching how you respond to this. Your children are going to watch what you do from here. So can you live your life in such a way that anyone who knows you for real would think that that person's crazy? And if you can, then it doesn't matter what someone else says, because you know the truth.
Hey guys, it's Rach. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. And I have a favor, which sounds kind of harsh if we just met, but I'm assuming that most of you have been a part of this community for a hot minute. And so I gotta ask, are you subscribed to the podcast? Subscribing to the podcast you listen to regularly is one of the best things that you can do for hosts like me. It helps to support the show and the staff that works on it. It ensures that you never miss an episode when we drop a new one. And here's the cool thing about subscribing. If you do it and then you hate this show, just unsubscribe. It's one click away. In the meantime, if you're listening, we would so appreciate it if you would just tap that button and make it official.
Hey guys, it's Rach. Welcome to another episode of the podcast and a new edition in our Ask Rach series. These are episodes where I answer y'all's questions. So I've had a podcast hotline since, oh golly, I don't even know, a very long time. And in the last handful of years, people have called in from all over the world and they ask questions about everything, business and life and wellness and working out and raising babies and you name it. And I do my very best in these episodes to answer authentically and inexpertly. I say that because I am not an expert in anything other than my own life. So if I tell you something that makes no sense to you, please feel free to ignore it. Use whatever is helpful and throw away the rest. We will jump right into today's conversation with this question.
Hi, Rachel. My question is big, and I know Rachel's dealt with this so much of her life as other people just making up horrible rumors and spreading gossip. And I know the internet is a different path that she's, having to deal with. But my thing is, I recently heard distant family members that I do not even associate with for years, all of a sudden making up rumors that I have a drinking problem, that I lost a job, and that I have marriage issues, which are all absolutely absurdly false. So, I mean, my marriage, I mean, who has a perfect marriage? But the others two, absolutely false. But I'm a good citizen. I'm good kids. They're great in their lives. Everything's fun and great. It's absurd. Like, I am just a loss for words. And they're telling other people, and it finally got back to me, and every part of me wants to call them up and address it. And then the other part of me is like, give it to God. Let God take care of it. You stay in your peace. You stay in your calmness, and you know it's not true. Just keep living your best life. And those that are close to me and know it's not true. So who cares what other people think? But a part of me is like, who told you this? Why are people talking about me? What's going on? So I'm torn, but I'm 99% part of me is I'm letting it go because they don't matter to me, so their opinion doesn't matter, but it's still hurtful, and I worry, what if it gets around back to my kids who are 14 and 10, but, I'm 49 years old, I've been around, and I live my life, I live and let live. I never gossip about other people like this, and it's just insane to me. So what advice do you have for us in the community who probably deals with this with horrible family members, or distant family members? I never have to see them, never ever have to be around them. But thank you so much for all y'all do.
Before I jump into this answer, it's worth reminding you guys, I do it every week. If you call in and don't want us to use your voice, we are happy to disguise it. We will leave your name out, whatever we need to do to protect you so that nobody knows this question is coming from you. But oh my gosh, let's get into it. Secretly, I love this chisme. I know that I should be above gossip, but I do sort of really love hearing y'all's gossip. My brain goes two ways with this. It goes, honestly, it's like the angel on my shoulder and the devil on my shoulder, and I want to give you both, and then you get to decide which one is helpful. Because there's like the elevated Rach, who's like, you rise above it. Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high, like that whole thing. Part of me feels like in the mafia, like the Godfather, like how dare they? We need to nip this in the bud. So I'm going to give you both versions and you get to decide what works for you. Let's start with the elevated version because that is probably the right answer. It doesn't matter. Someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. It's like, Mel Robbins saying, like, let them talk, let them spin, let them believe whatever they want to believe. It's, that old man who hikes and offers words of wisdom on Instagram who said, peace is letting them be wrong about you, which is freaking brilliant. And we all need to hold on to that. At the end of the day, it obviously does not matter. I have, very similarly to you, I have family members who are distant. I have not talked to them in, 25 years. And they got all kinds of stories because that's what people like that do. They live and breathe off of gossip and stories and the things they've heard and what they believe and their own theories for why that happens. And it's what makes their world go round because they have nothing else to talk about. There's that old quote that says, big people talk about ideas and little people talk about other people. It sounds to me like these family members don't have anything else going on, and so they've got to talk crap. And they're going to talk crap about you because they don't know the truth about you, so they get to make up whatever they want in their own minds. Just because we know we should be elevated beyond caring about that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's BS. Words absolutely hurt. And part of being in the public eye, like you mentioned, means that, yeah, I have had so many stories told about me, not just like the crazy relatives who are making up their own narrative, but also like, the New York Times, just like massive companies and media and journalists who just literally make things up. And in those instances, at least for me, it's like, I can't even take that on. If you try and talk back, and I think this is very similar to your family members, if you try and get involved, it actually just adds more fuel to the fire. It adds more energy to it. It makes it bigger because you're now paying attention to what has been said, which is acknowledging the liars. And in acknowledging the liars, it gives them some of your energy and it gives them some of your attention. And now more people get involved. So the way I've always managed it, whether it was with the family members of my own or with things that people write about on the internet, is I just don't take it in. I can't. If you think that I have, after, 15 years, Rachel has gotten the thickest skin and she's able to do this work, because no, I haven't. I've tried so hard, but I realize that in order for me to have a thick skin, I have to lose that childlike part of me that believes in people and wants to show up and thinks that together you and I can change the world. And that version of me cannot coexist inside of a super thick skin, or at least I don't know how to make that happen yet. I don't have a thick skin. I just don't consume it. And every once in a while, something makes its way through, because that's how it works. Just like you heard about gossip, someone was talking about you. It gets back to us. And when it gets back to us, it makes us feel maybe scared or unsafe, or we're on defense, we need to do something. It just brings out all of these feelings. You absolutely can rise above, and you can absolutely ignore and go on with your life. And eventually this thing kind of peters out and they find someone new to gossip about. Because honestly, that's what happens. They find someone new to gossip about. It's not like they suddenly change their mind about you. That being said, let's go to Godfather mode. Let's go to devil on my shoulder, which says someone else making up stories about you can absolutely ruin your reputation. It can. And I guess my question for you is, if you were to confront them, do you think it would stop? Do you think this is like great Aunt Margie, who doesn't know you at all and is making up a story because she doesn't know better? And if you actually were to confront her, she would realize that she's made a mistake and that story isn't true? Or is this person just toxic, and so they're going to talk crap no matter what you say? If you think there is actually a chance that you might be able to change what they're saying, then you should get in a conversation with them. 1,000,000%. Loose lips sink ships. People talking badly about you, even if it is a lie, will hurt your reputation. And maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe your job doesn't require you to have any sort of reputation, but even in life, like in your town, you don't want a bunch of people to think that you're a derelict. You don't want a bunch of people to have a false opinion of you. And if you can affect that opinion, you should. But there are instances where you getting involved won't help the situation, won't change the narrative, and will actually give more power to the gossipers, in which case you have to move on. I could tell at the beginning of your voicemail that you were feeling defensive. You're like, I am a good person. I am an upstanding citizen. My kids are good. Da, da, da. You're listing all of these reasons why this is not true. But what's at the core of what you're listing is that this is unfair, right? That's what you're really saying. This is not fair. I am all of these things, and someone's making up rumors about me. Unfortunately, life is not fair. Life is deeply unfair. And someone can make up a story and share it however they want. And oftentimes there's literally nothing that we can do about it except to live in a way that makes that story false. That makes it so that anyone who actually knows us or anyone who interacts with us will call BS. Because no, you can say whatever you want, but I have spent a ton of time with that person and they are not who you describe them to be. There's way more power in us showing up for our lives and going, you know what? I'm going to do this in such a way that it is beyond reproach. You can keep flapping your gums all you want, and that does not change how I show up. That does not change my integrity. My character is still intact. You are the one who will deal with the karma of this situation. But over here, me and my house, we're showing up as we know we should. And whatever you're doing over there, whatever kind of rumors you are spreading and telling people about me, that's between you and God. That is not my karma. That is on you. But at the base level, you have to know that if you keep putting energy into why this person is mean, why this person has hurt you, why did this happen? Why did this happen? It will not help your life. There's a great story that was going around social media forever about, imagine that a snake bit you. Imagine a snake bit you and it was a venomous snake. And instead of immediately trying to treat the snake bite and immediately going to the hospital and trying to get the venom sucked out, imagine that instead of saving yourself, you chase after the snake and ask the snake why. Imagine that instead of trying to get the poison out of your own body, you chase after the snake and try and convince it that you're a good person and it shouldn't have bit you in the first place. Imagine that you spend the next 10 years doing therapy about the snake. Stop focusing on why someone is rotten to the core. Focus on your energy. Focus on your life. Focus on your character. Focus on where you are moving forward to. Focus on building a life that moves so far forward, they're so deep in the past you can't even see them anymore. We can't change the toxic people that we are born into sometimes inside of a family. But we can change the generational cycle. And what's happening right now is your children are watching how you respond to this. Your children are going to watch what you do from here. So can you live your life in such a way that anyone who knows you for real would think that that person's crazy? And if you can, then it doesn't matter what someone else says, because you know the truth.
I think you guys know this, but in case you don't, my happy place is on the beach. Actually, that's not enough. My happy place is on the beach with an iced coffee in my hand. What a vibe. There are a lot of beaches out there, but there's only one people call the beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, is made up of 14 coastal communities and 60 miles of sunny beaches. Together, they create a place that makes you feel like you belong. Shine and dine in a foodie haven with oceanfront patios, fresh seafood, low country classics, and southern favorites. Plus, my favorite, you can listen to live music any day of the year, outside at laid-back beach bars, at world-renowned theaters, or right on the boardwalk. You belong at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Plan your trip to the beach at visitmyrtlebeach.com. Step into the freedom of summer with jewelry that reflects who you are and where you're going. From sunrise to sunset, Pandora Jewelry transports you to paradise. No passport required. From ocean charms to colorful tennis bracelets, shop new arrivals to add to your summer staples. Be unmissable this summer with vacation-ready designs. Everyone loves adding a little something fun to their wardrobe during the summer, and accessories are the easy go-to staple that will jazz up any outfit. Feel it, live it, embrace it. Be love. Shop in-store or online at pandora.net to discover new styles.
All right, let's see what our next question is.
Hey, Rachel. My name is Taylor, and I was just wondering if you could do a podcast episode about all of the fiction books that you enjoy since you're currently working on one. I know you talk a lot about nonfiction and personal development books, but I am interested to know what kind of fiction books that you like and which ones you love to read. I think it would be a cool episode. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, Taylor, thank you so much for this question. Honestly, any of you guys who want to call in and ask me about book recommendations, I will incorporate this into every episode because it is my favorite subject. Where do I even begin? Favorite fiction books. Well, first of all, Taylor mentioned, because I've talked about it a few times lately, that I am writing my next book, which is fiction, because that is where I started as an author. So if I'm going to recommend fiction to you, I have to tell you to start with my fiction in case you want. The very first book in my fiction series is called Party Girl. I wrote it like 11 or 12 years ago now. And it's all fictionalized stories about when I was a wedding planner. And I got to do like really fancy celebrity weddings. And all of the names in the book are changed, so you won't know who I'm talking about unless you're really clever and you can figure it out. But they're all true stories. It was actually one of the easiest books I've ever written, even though it was my first, because I just had a million stories from the biggest catastrophes you can imagine happening at $1 million wedding. So my very first book was called Party Girl, and it launched a series and honestly launched me as an author. I think my favorite fiction of all time is Outlander. And not to sound like a hipster, but I loved it before it was cool. I read Outlander so long ago, long before there was a Starz TV show, just like a really long time. And I think it is my most perfect read ever. I would actually pay a significant amount of money to be able to go back in time and reread that with no memory of having read it. Like, to reread it for the first time, I would pay so much money. So I love Outlander. To be totally honest, I don't love that series as much. I think I read like 5 or 6 books, but I really only loved maybe the first 2 or 3. I'm one of those people, I'm not a big fan of when authors like just take a series out for like 1 million years. I just like, I don't know. That's me. She's making $1 trillion off of that series. So keep doing you. I love Discovery of Witches, one of my favorite fiction books I've ever read. And because I love that book so much, I was obsessed with the author Deborah Harkness. And over time, I stalked her enough that she became my friend. And now she is one of my dearest friends. So a really cool part in knowing her has been having insider information about what's coming next in the series, which is always really cool. But Discovery of Witches, I loved. And I love the second one in the series too, which I'm spacing on the name of right now. But that's a whole series that's really fun. And she does cool things because she sort of weaves in the other characters more. I'm getting too in the weeds. So Discovery of Witches. I love anything that's like a bit historical and a bit magic. So if you think about Outlander and Discovery of Witches, those two make a ton of sense. There's a great book by Susanna Kearsley that I read years ago called The Winter Sea. Same vibe, historical, a little bit of magic. I love these women who are passionate about history and then weave it into their own fictional writing. I just find it so great. You know what? I bet I have. I bet on, because I was a blogger forever, I bet I have a favorite fiction books. I bet I do. I'm in the search bar. Yep. Nonfiction, favorite business books, favorite book series, best summer beach reads. Wow, I have a lot of books on here. Let's see what I said. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about it. I'm so glad I looked this up. A Spear of Summer Grass by Deanna Raybourn. Oh, I maybe need to do a reread. Oh, again, historical, not magic, but historical. So good. Oh, I freaking love that. It's very like, if you ever saw the movie Out of Africa with Robert Redford and Meryl Streep, it's like that energy. Love story, sweeping, very strong heroine. Oh my God, I loved that book. I also had, I put in a book called Grave Mercy. I'm trying to share all over the place because I don't know what category you read in. And those of us who love fiction tend to have one category. Grave Mercy, I read a really long time ago. It's YA, but it's all about assassin nuns. Like a collection. Producer Jack's like, yeah. It's like an order of nuns who come into the order. That's like, it's set in old times, but they come into the order when they're teenagers and they're trained to be assassins. So that was pretty sick. It's called Grave Mercy. There's a great book I have on here called You Take It From Here by Pamela Ribbon about two best friends. I won't give you more than that. It's a tearjerker. So only read that one if you want to cry, but it's called You Take It From Here. And I love that I have this because Colleen Hoover is such a moment now. Like, she's crushed it. And I love and respect her so much as an author because a lot of us came up together a very long time ago, and Colleen, more than anybody I know, has consistently just kept writing. If you see Colleen Hoover's success now and you're like, wow, how did that happen? I swear to you, Colleen finishes a book, or that she used to back in the day. She would finish a book and like take a day off and immediately start writing the next book. And the quality of her writing has gone up so much over the years. And it's like now everything she writes is getting turned into a movie. She's so successful. She's an incredible writer. She's an incredible person. But this is a really old list. I have Slammed, which is the first book Colleen wrote. And I want to say she like self-published that, but it is fantastic. And I think it's worth a read. Oh, I forgot about this. But oh my God, you didn't ask for this, but I'm just going through all my old favorites. The Flight of Gemma Hardy by Margot Livesey. This one I loved because it was a retelling of Jane Eyre. I mean, Jane Eyre's been told a million times, but this was set in 1950s Scotland. I'm just taking you guys all over the place. I loved The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. That ended up getting turned into a Netflix movie, so you can go watch it. But it is a really good book. Obviously, the book's always going to be better than the movie. The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. The Thursday Murder Club. And he has a new series called We Solve Murders. He's just a great writer, very fun, whodunit, incredible characters. He started as a TV writer, if I'm not mistaken, so his chapters are like really short, like page turner, super fun. I'm not into a thriller. I like a whodunit, but I want it to be character driven. I want it to be fun and exciting. So that was just a whole bunch of ideas. I think that my fiction books that I love to read tend to be a bit more like magical, vampires, fantasy. So I don't know if that's going to be for everybody, but hopefully something I gave you there on the list will give you a direction to head. But those are some of the ones that come to mind. And as you just heard me say, if you head over to the website, MsRachelHollis.com, there are 1,000 different book lists that you can see what I was loving, back when I wrote it 12 years ago. Ever wondered what's really in your cleaning products? Many contain hidden chemicals tied to hormone issues, skin irritation, and breathing problems. Switching to safer options is easier than you think. Branch Basics is more than just cleaning. It's about transforming your home into a safer, healthier space. Made from plant and mineral-based ingredients, Branch Basics is human-safe and biodegradable, making it perfect for families, especially those with babies, kids, or pets. I have been using Branch Basics Oxygen Boost for, honestly, as long as I've known my husband. He can't handle bleach. He has allergic reactions to it, and the Oxygen Boost makes our whites super white without us having to use a harsh chemical. Human-safe cleaning isn't a luxury. It's now more accessible than ever. Shop Branch Basic products today, available on Amazon and branchbasics.com. And for a limited time, use code HOLLIS at branchbasics.com for 15% off your next order. Make the swap that truly matters. Clean your home without compromising your health with Branch Basics. My favorite part about Thrive Market is that I don't have to think about it. As a mom of 4 kids trying to get dinner on the table, make sure there are enough snacks in the pantry and items to fill their lunch boxes, it is so nice to not have to think about whether or not the ingredients and what I'm shopping for are actually good for my family. This is the beauty of Thrive Market. It's your favorite health food store, but online and way more affordable. Not only can I get my favorite products, but I also always find brand new ones that I didn't know existed. Things like Ora Bora sparkling water or Unreal dark chocolate bars with coconut. Oh my gosh, have you guys had those? Thrive has supplements, household items, and clean beauty too. All of their items are vetted and all way more affordable than you think.
Skip the junk without overspending. Head to thrivemarket.com/Rach to get 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift. That's thrivemarket.com/Rach, thrivemarket.com/RACH.
Let's see what the next question is.
Hi, Rach. Call me Daisy, so not use my real name. But yeah, my question is kind of piggybacking off of one of your more recent episodes, an Ask Rach episode where I believe it was Mama Sita was talking about her nighttime routine and how she just really loses steam and ends up reaching for things that don't make her feel good. And I can really relate to that, especially the doom scrolling thing. Like, I feel like it seems like it, I don't know, would be an easy thing to put down, but it genuinely feels like an addiction. I feel like I am just addicted to mindlessly scrolling, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, because it's just like such a satisfyingly numbing feeling. And like everyone, have a lot of stress in my life, and more recently a lot of like family tragedy and just a lot of like really just heaviness. And so just sitting there and kind of feeling like I can escape into this other world in my phone is just, I don't know, it feels like the thing that I want to reach for time and time again, even though it makes me feel like empty and hollow after. Also makes me feel like I am just wasting so much time. Like, embarrassed to say that there's definitely been many nights where I've found my phone for like, hours, just hours scrolling my phone. Definitely feels like an addiction, and I'm trying to, kind of replace it with something more productive. But what I'm kind of struggling to find is something to replace it with. But like, if I'm being realistic with myself at the end of the day, when I'm just super exhausted, I'm probably not gonna like try to pick up a new skill that requires a lot of brain power. I'm already active, like I normally do that earlier in the day, but it's just at night when I'm really struggling with the doom scrolling thing. And something that you said that really resonated with me is just like not forcing the funk and just being really realistic. Like, am I gonna sit there and meditate? Probably not. Like, I've tried that, not really my jam. What I do know about addiction is that normally you replace it with something else, and I'm just struggling with what that might be. So, any thoughts or just any words of wisdom on how just to like cut this out of my life would be greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for all that you do and this wonderful community that you built. Okay, have a good one. Bye.
Thank you for this question. And I want to acknowledge what you're saying, Daisy, and tell you that it feels like you are addicted because you are. Because these platforms are built for you to be addicted. Social media is created so that you will get a dopamine hit every single time you scroll to a new video or you see something that you like or you post something and someone else likes what you did. It is created to addict you. We've had experts on the show who have come in and talked about this, that the companies who have built social media have hired the same people that casinos in Las Vegas hire, so that they know exactly how to set you up so that you will stay on the platform. And the first place that you need to start with is like, this is not your fault. You are exhausted. This is escapism. And when you go onto that phone, it is designed to keep you there. So I love that we are beginning from this place of realness and not like, go meditate or go on a hike. That would be amazing. I would love that for you, Daisy. I would love that for me if I actually did it, but I don't. When I am really tired and have finally got the kids to bed and I made it through work and dinner and all of the stuff, and I really don't have it in me, I only want to consume. I want my brain to be shut off. I don't even have the thought process to read at that moment because I'm just like, I want to lay here like a mushroom and just absorb content that someone else created. So the first place that you could start is, can you continue to consume social media that isn't doom scrolling and that actually provides value to you. My best recommendation would be YouTube, but I'm going to change it up on you. I'm going to say that you consider consuming YouTube on a computer or on a TV if you have it wired in, instead of on your phone. Phones make it so easy to swipe, 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 and that's what's keeping you locked in. That's what's taking you down the rabbit hole. But YouTube is filled with incredible information that could literally change your life, but in a really fun way. So it's a great form of entertainment if you're watching long form. Let me just make that clear, not YouTube Shorts. If you're watching long form YouTube, you could be learning something, you could be absorbing something, it can be entertaining, and it's not showing you the world news that's making you freak out about the dumpster fire we're all living inside of. I recommend that one because it is honestly, I don't know if I should say this, but it is the only social media that I consume. I don't consume Instagram. I don't consume TikTok. I don't like the scroll. I actually feel my brain start to atrophy. I feel like I'm becoming a worse version of myself. So I don't consume those. I do consume YouTube. And I love it for a bunch of dorky hobbies. I watch gardening videos. I'm learning how to redo old windows because we just bought a 100-year-old house and I can't find anyone to fix the windows. So am I going to try and do it myself? I don't know. I bought a book. We'll see. But I watch videos on how to redo your windows. I watch videos on home decor. I learn about baking. I learn new recipes by watching chefs that are on YouTube. Whatever you are into. Seriously, if you want to sew, you want to redo old leather goods, you want to raise a horse from a foal, you want to learn to build go-karts. Girl, literally everything is there. You know that you're going to reach for something you can consume, and you know that you're going to reach for content. So why don't you just change the content you consume to be something that is helping you instead of hurting you? You have to curate what you take in. This is important for any of us. You have to curate what you take in, because I don't think it's realistic to say to go cold turkey and never consume anything again and, find something improving to do with your time after work. I think it's way more realistic to just find stuff that actually is teaching you about life or teaching you about yourself or even how to redo your makeup or your hair. Focus on those things which are improving instead of something that's going to take you down a rabbit hole. Because if you fall down a rabbit hole of long form YouTube videos about gardening, you're going to find adjacent videos. Based on what you click on, you will continue to be served similar topics, right? If you're on shorts, real easy to go on a rabbit. All of a sudden you're like, what are the politics in, Bolivia in 1972? You end up in a totally different environment. But even in that, even on shorts, every once in a while YouTube has this thing that's do you want to stay on topic? And I'm like, yes. Don't take me to Bolivia. Let's stay with composting, bro. That's what I'm trying to learn about right now. So you have the ability to control that. And I think it just looks like being more intentional. Before you sit down, okay, I'm going to be entertained right now, but I'm going to be entertained in a way that doesn't negatively affect me or make me feel anxious. For some people, that looks like you're going to watch Bravo, right? You're going to watch the Kardashians. You're going to do something that you're just consuming. I don't know that that's really improving your life, but it is helping you relax and it is entertaining. And so it has value. Just don't set yourself up to be served things that are going to make you feel like crap or that are going to make you want to consume more of what is going wrong. Because that's what we are often shown, whether it's in the news or any sort of feed that you're going through that's making you feel like life is getting worse. This is not where we want to be, because the only thing that you're going to see is more of that. And even when you get off that phone, you're going to go out into the world and you're just going to see all the things that are wrong. That TikTok was right. Everyone's mean and the world is going to hell in a handbasket and drivers always honk. And you're going to see what you have been served, because that is how our brains are wired. Your brain cannot possibly take in all of the information there is at a given moment. So there's something inside of us called the reticular activating system, which is basically a filter. It's your brain's way of filtering out only the stuff that matters, so you're not overwhelmed by all the possibility. But if everything that you're looking at on your phone is negative, 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 your brain's like, oh, she cares about negative. So I'm going to remove any of the other stuff so we can only show her what she wants. Which, by the way, if we just want to get woo and hippie for a minute, which we always do, if you are only focusing on negative things, you are also telling the universe, like, bring more of that to me. Show me how the world is wrong. Show me how people are mean. Show me how nobody loves their neighbors. Show me how we're all screwed up. Show me how my dreams will never work. The universe is like, okay, that's all she focuses on, so that is what I'm going to give her more of. The universe is always saying yes. So be careful what you are telling it you want, whether that is subconscious or not. We have to do a better job of controlling the input. And for me, that really looks like making sure I'm curating that content that I'm taking in. So I don't want to take in anything that's going to hurt me. I don't want to take in anything that's going to make me feel less than. I don't want to take in anything that is going to make me compare myself to someone else. I really want to go into environments and look at things and listen to things and read things that help me become the better version of myself. And it sounds maybe kind of boring, but I promise you, if you start to do it, you will get just as much satisfaction and just as much entertainment out of those interactions as you were from the doom scrolling, but you'll come out the other side feeling way better than you did. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode of Ask Rach. I hope it was helpful, and I hope if you have a question, you will call in and let us know what it is. 737-400-4626. As some of our callers did today, you can always ask us to disguise your voice, or you can change your name. I always find it funny when someone's like, you can call me this. And I'm like, well, I don't know your real name, so you could just tell me that's your name, and that's what we'll call you. In any event, I'm so glad that you're here, that you keep asking these questions, because it makes the show better and better. If you liked today's episode, please consider sharing it. We will be back soon with more conversation. Until then, as always, I love you, and I'm rooting for you.
The Rachel Hollis podcast is produced by me, Rachel Hollis. It's edited by Andrew Weller and Jack Noble.
Going up.
Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
What's up, podcast listeners? It's Tinks, host of the It's Me Tinks podcast. Join me weekly on It's Me Tinks as I dive into topics like relationships, why it's okay to feel lonely, fighting summer comparison, and pop culture's hottest takes. I don't shy away from getting candid about my personal experiences, and I want to share all the advice I have learned with you. I'm even joined by some of my friends like Claudia Oshry, Connor Wood, and Amanda Hirsch each Friday for our new Office Hours episodes. You can listen to It's Me Tinks every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you don't miss an episode.